As you siblings know and sisters out there, there is a conspicuous supportive of African American community. Furthermore, I'm not discussing the ones in the congregation. I'm discussing your bad to the bone B1 people locally. Not simply individuals or skeptics. A great deal of those people are Christian. A portion of those individuals are country of Islam. Certain individuals are 5% country. Some are hoteps. What's more, the local area is exceptionally different. Okay? Very much like you have your dark Hebrew Israelites and every one of them. Indeed, those individuals very much like arguments. You will hear a portion of the people making statements like, "Talk dark to me." Okay, you will. You will. You will hear that. You will hear an individual who's not even distinguished as a Christian, yet that individual talks or teaches in a resonance that is pretty much like a Baptist minister, as Dr. Umar Johnson. He doesn't do any hooping. Yet, when he talks, you would view at him as to some degree as a minister. Right. And afterward you will hear some specific arguments. You know, we became B1. We got to safeguard our ladies. We got to put into our networks, which generally approve of that. However, at that point you will track down two things. One is on the off chance that they're a male. They're continuously going to censure the men locally. Correct? The main individual that I've seen that doesn't do that is sibling Tariq Nasheed. He's the one to focus on, right? Also, what you would agree that here of the B1 kind of expert dark. Hey, he is fair no matter how you look at it in such manner. He can't stand on people of color. He's the one to focus on, which is the reason a ton of siblings love Tariq. In any case, the others I'm discussing, Dr. Boyce Watkins and Dr. Umar Johnson, they will have a derisive demeanor towards people of color. Why would that be? Number one, it must be some degree of individual weakness. Be that as it may, number two, they are attempting to look for financing from ladies. Okay, so you will hear the individual of color is somewhat the sovereign. On the off chance that it isn't so bombastic, you'll hear ideas like that from them. Optionally, what you will hear is once they will be to some degree attempting to discuss white individuals in an extremely disparaging manner. You know, and it's practically funny. It's not simply expressing the realities as Malcolm X used to do. No, they will begin acting an imbecile before white individuals to engage their crowd, despite the fact that they have been taught by these equivalent whites. Dr. Umar Johnson was taught, I accept, at the Lecom School of Osteopathic Medication with a PhD undergrad. White people, right? Boyce Watkins, the Ohio State College. So yet when they get around white individuals, they'll begin acting a numbskull to pacify their dark crowd. Allow me to provide you with an illustration of Dr. Umar Johnson doing this nonsense, and afterward we will return. Be that as it may, we're going. What are best Catholic? Goodness, 348. Goodness, what's up? I really want someone to stay with me. Be that as it may, one of my Afro sovereigns. One of my Afro or regular Afro sovereigns. I got my voyaging secretary, Zach, with my voyaging secretary. Watching. Thus, that is Dr. Umar Johnson acting a total simpleton before someone white. He's earned his college educations from white organizations. He didn't grow up. He experienced childhood in Philadelphia. However, he's been taught by whites. Presently, here it goes. Boyce Watkins in Iceland. Check out at the adolescents in this. On the air terminal at this moment. I'm not doing anything extravagant, but rather, I did. Iceland is brimming with. What's more, white individuals. Loads of white individuals, at any rate. So look at this. I need to show you this. This spot highlighted heated, I think. I think Pastry Kitchen is I couldn't say whether it's Icelandic for prepared. I got a pretzel from that spot. So here is young men. We're here in Iceland before a lot of white individuals. Also, once more, this is that B1 call since they understand that their listener's perspective or their apparent crowd needs to be engaged, and their crowd needs to be taken care of hostile to white stuff. However, these are similar folks who are asking for dollars with white people on them. They don't have no issue placing the cash into a white bank. They don't have no issue living into neighborhoods close to those white individuals. Indeed, even Boyce Watkins was saying hello. He would let a Ward Cardone hit on his crowd, assuming that a Ward Cardone will allow him to go to their crowd. Presently, assuming you're so star dark and bone, for what reason do you should be on a Ward Cardone thing? Since it's every one of the A demonstration, each of the A demonstration to get individuals of color to accept that these individuals are for the people, since individuals of color live in an ideal world in which we couldn't want anything more than to have the option to advise the white man to F off. Isn't that so? That is the very thing we need to do. However, at similar token, your organizations and all that you run, you paid duties to these. We as a whole compensation charges to these individuals. All right, so what is the utilization of utilizing that horseplay around? To do what? Since you're attempting to persuade your crowd that you're all the more expert dark without really doing anything. Furthermore, individuals are really idiotic and senseless enough to get bulldozed. That is the main justification for why they do that, since it has neither rhyme nor reason. This is the motivation behind why. Okay. What's more, once more, I lived in Poland for a very long time. At the point when I get around Poland are that among whites. In the event that I'm on a plane close to whites, how am I? I'm glad to be there. I'm not even stressed over them. I put no contemplations about them. I'm stressed over how to advance our circumstance. I don't stress over them. I'm not pondering whites. In any event, when I'm discussing what I'm referring to on my show consistently, I'm not managing white people. Yet see, expert blacks got to constantly have whites on the brain on the grounds that the more you ponder whites on the psyche, then the genius blacks can take from you. What's more, I'm one. Okay, so we should not get it contorted. I'm glad to be in the DISH, African People Group, and the Master African American Community. I go hard body, correct? I'm here in Africa. However, I gotta call it out from a portion of the siblings and the sisters that are over here defrauding, talking genuine extreme, talking genuine dark to someone, yet you're a con or you're a cheat, so you need to develop the feelings. What's the motivation behind behaving stupidly that way? We as a whole realize that whites are here. We were taught by them. We communicate in English. Obviously, we know that they're there. So what is the reason? Discussing that. Goodness, I'm sitting close to a Becky on the plane. I'm like, that is the most moronic goddamn thing on the planet. All right? You sit close to a white individual. What of it? However, they need to have the option to do that, to attempt to cause themselves to be all the more ace dark. However, their activities don't say that their activities are shifty. Their activities don't. It's generally lies. And afterward, at whatever point you come to the responsibility, why not? I got an entire video on that. Why not? Why you? Why you don't stress over the white man? You are stressed over the blacks. I value you for all you depict the bill well.